Hello there, and welcome to the Natalie
and Dennis
Show podcast. It's Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for tuning in. We have a wonderful show in store for you.
Hey, I'm having a Pop-Tart. It's a good day. I'm feeling energized, and I posted like my third TikTok today, which is just bananas.
Look how moisturized I look. This skin is flawless. And want to know why? Because we did a morning... What would you even call that? Get ready with me? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we did a couples get ready with me on TikTok. If you don't follow us there, you know, why aren't you?
We were talking about, what is it? Transplants, hair transplants,
Turkish hair transplants.
It's worth watching. That's just what we were doing.
And if you're just like so in the need to know about my moisturizing routine, you know, lots of
this is good, Bubba.
Lots of La Roche-Posay. Yeah, it's great. I really like Pop-Tarts.
Mm-hmm. So what do we have in store for today? Tell me.
We have a lot of topics. We're going to talk about cheating. We're going to also be talking about patience in terms of raising children.
Wait.
Yes.
If you go on TikTok, the search is Natalie's Outlet cheating. That's number one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because of that one podcast clip that we added in there.
Let's hop into that one then.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, we can definitely just start. How true do you think about the phrase, once a cheater, always a cheater? Do you think cheaters will continue to cheat forever and there's no way back?
I think people can redeem themselves for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's harder on the other person though. Like I actually went out to lunch with one of my friends whose husband actually cheated on her.
What?
And she thought it was kind of like done and over and done with. And I hadn't seen her in a while. And so she said, hey, like I'm still with him. We're working it out. But as they were on the phone, he was kind of like calling her and being like, hey, Pookie, like hope you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, I'm doing good. But like rolling her eyes as she was talking to me.
Yeah.
And she was just saying it will never be the same. So I think it's redeemable, but it's harder to get there again.
So it's not, maybe it's harder to redeem the trust with the other person as opposed to changing the way that you are internally as a person.
She said it will never be the same.
There was a really good comment someone left that, yes, you can change, but you might not still be with that person that you cheated with at that point.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like you can change and not be a cheater anymore, but that time with the person you cheated with might have, you know,
that's ended. Why I think it's harder, obviously, like on the other person. And, you know, I once saw this very viral video on YouTube. It's like, Bae caught me cheating. Wait, is that what it is?
Bae caught me sleeping.
No, it's like Sad Bae or something like that. It's a video where it's very intimate. It's her and her ex. And this guy is just telling her, confronting her about how he cheated.
Okay.
And she is devastated. Like you could see in her face, it's the most heartbreaking thing. And he's kind of like gloaty about it. And he's like, oh, I'm so happy because that was really weighing on me. But the comments were so interesting because they were like, dude, like you guys aren't even together anymore. You just had to clear your conscience. Like you just had to do that. It's so selfish. So that's another twist of like.
So wait,
events.
So he told an ex that?
Yeah, he told an ex and he really just got like very intimate into the details of how he cheated. And you could just tell how devastated she was by it. And what didn't sit well with everybody was that he was like, oh, I feel so much better now. Like, because it was more for him to get it out, not for him to be clean with her. Does that make sense? Which just felt so selfish.
I get that. It's selfish also because since he's not with her anymore, he feels like he can just kind of hurt her feelings.
Exactly.
And it doesn't really like impact him because at the end of the day,
sad.
He's not with her anymore. But I've heard that cheaters who get cheated on also feel it more. They feel offended more.
That is rough.
There was a couple that was trending on TikTok who went recently to a concert. And so the singer at the concert picked out the girlfriend out of the front row to come on stage. And so she goes on stage and then they drop a curtain and then there's like this spotlight. And so they start dancing provocatively on the other side of the curtain. And the camera and like people around are filming the boyfriend and his reaction to seeing his his girlfriend or whatever up on stage. The point is, it was really provocative, and they ended up breaking up. And someone recorded the dude walking home alone after the concert. God. And there's people on her side and his side, but almost everyone's on his side.
So what are your thoughts, right? Like your wife gets pulled up, me, and I get danced on provocatively, right? Is it a part of like the whole thing? Do I look uncomfortable? Like, was she uncomfortable?
Bro, she was all about it. She grinded on the dude.
Okay, but here's the thing.
They were like smashing.
I don't know how provocative it is, but I do feel like that's kind of the culture of a concert where if you get pulled up, you're going to dance.
I think she should have said no to going up.
You can, obviously you can, but it does kind of ruin the vibe of like the energy of the thing. No. I know some people are going to get mad at me for this because it kind of makes sense. But like when you go to a concert, that's kind of the vibe. So once you get pulled up, like you need to really be like, no, I don't want to run, you know? But I wouldn't appreciate getting like grinded on behind the thing. And I also think it's mean because they're trying to do it to get a reaction out of you. Yeah. Which is mean.
No, I don't think the guy actually meant to do that in particular. So they're in the front row. The rapper or the singer guy, he does like R&B. He's kind of like a wannabe Usher. Like points at the chick. She kind of like just instantly goes. Doesn't even ask her boyfriend, I think. She just like literally crosses over the gate and then they do that or whatever. But what I wanted to get into was way back when we were doing like going to marriage or wedding exposés or like expos. At the end, there was a show of like these like shirtless dudes who are like really buff and like do like bachelorette parties, right?
Well, no, this was actually for the wedding. So we went to a marriage expo and there are guys, it's called like kind of like La Hora Loca, like the crazy hour. Yeah. And like these men basically do a strip show. Yeah. At your wedding. I had never seen anything like this, but my mom was obsessed. Yeah. She was like, you need to have this at your wedding.
Tell me how Natalie's mom whips out her glasses. She like digs into the purse, puts on her glasses, and then like her glasses look like magnifying glasses. So her eyes are big and she's like just staring at the stage. And then Natalie's dad's like, and she didn't even get pulled up though. But imagine your mom got pulled up. Would your mom have gone up?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
What do you think?
No, I think maybe, yeah. But here's the thing. Here's what my opinion. Okay. If you get pulled up, you have to be a part of it. It's kind of...
Yeah, you have to dance and be a part. Yes.
But I agree. You could do it in a way that's kind of like, ooh, you know. But here's the other one. Have you guys noticed Maluma and the guy from Aventura? What's his name? Romeo Santos. They always bring up a girl and they kiss her. Yeah. Well, this was prior to Maluma having like a girl or whatever, but they full on make out with the girl.
It's because they want people to go and assume or have the expectation that they might be able to make out with him. It sells tickets. It really does.
So imagine, yeah.
I wonder if that one singer guy. Marketing. I wonder if that one singer guy that pulled that girl on stage, like his next show is gonna get more people because they want to get on stage.
I mean, that's part of the whole thing, I guess, right? But it is.
It's part del show.
It is uncomfortable, though. I think what you do in that case is like you take your ring and you're like.
I remember when we were first dating, we went to Armenia, which is where Natalie's from in Colombia. And so they had a group called Fundanza or whatever at 15, right?
Which also did
David was actually there. I think I don't know if you remember that.
David, you were like 6.
En los 15.
En los 15, Laura.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember.
And so
I ate so many strawberries con chocolate.
Have you seen that strawberry chocolate TikTok that's blowing up? Okay, that's I got trailed off. Anyways, so everybody's in a circle and these like I'm telling, they're like 15, 16-year-old dancers with like other teens. And they're like pulling them into like this dance thing. And it's like 3 or 4 dudes all grinding on one chick. And then your cousin went in there. And she was all about it. She was having a great time. And then they went to pull you in. And I don't think I've ever grabbed your hand so hard and I did not let you get in the circle. I was like,
I remember.
Fuck that. I'm not watching 4 dudes crying on you. I don't give a fuck what's going on. And they look at me. Okay, tell me how these 4 guys look at me like I'm a party pooper.
Really?
Like I'm ruining it. I'm like, hell no. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you So yo lo que veías.
Yeah. Like we're literally holding hands and they're going to take you from me. Like, no, I held your hand so that they don't take you from me. And it's so apparent. And I don't care if it's a part of the show. Like, no.
That's kind of cute. That I honestly didn't even remember that until right now. I didn't even remember that really happening, like as a part of the whole thing.
Overall, though, it's funny how we went from cheating to like going on stage and having like these emotional moments kind of take you away from what is actually real life.
I guess that's kind of the question. Like, what do you guys consider cheating?
That is true.
What I mean? Like, for example, I've been going to salsa classes, right?
Yeah.
And you get to work with like other partners or whatever. My class is not as intimate. The bachata class.
Ask me, if you were to come home and tell me I want to start bachata classes, hell no.
It is very sensual. But here's the thing, that's dance. So what are you know what I mean? It's an interesting mix.
I love getting dance songs on TikTok of like super like ranchero Mexican guys. So they'll go to like a club, pick out a girl and dance. It's so sexual. First of all, I didn't know it's like that Mexican like
I don't think that's
like
that sexual
shit.
Though.
But wait. Okay, so the girl's on his thigh,
and she's just being
and
held.
he's like bouncing her ass up and down. Right, this girl's like floating. That's how like attached they are.
Okay.
Right.
Well, think of bachata. It's kind of like you're doing this to each other,
like snakes.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Explain it for the listeners.
But I will say, once you're there in that environment, everybody's just practicing. It's not like that at all. It really isn't, because bachata is sensual per nature. And the other thing I learned is when I first started dancing salsa, which you have space between your partner, a lot of the people, including myself, I wouldn't even look at the person. Because you're just kind of like uncomfortable, like, you know, just kind of dancing.
Yeah.
But we were taught after in like class number 5, like you need to look at them to know when are you going to turn? Like, what's the chemistry? There is chemistry in dance. And so I think that is really interesting. I personally also would feel uncomfortable if a girl was like dancing like a snake with you. I would also feel uncomfortable. I would, to be honest.
I don't think that I've ever, since we started dating, there's very few people at parties I've actually danced with.
You?
Like, yeah,
because you don't ask girls.
I'm not
to dance.
one to go and ask people to dance.
Yeah,
I've never done that. If anything, they come to me. They're like I've danced with David's mom. She's a family member. I've danced with. I don't think I've ever danced with your mom actually.
Oh my God, really?
I dance with my mom all the time.
Yeah.
I think maybe occasionally I've danced with a couple of your cousins.
Yeah.
But like, let's say like there's a random person.
Pero como que no ha bailado con la suegra.
I know, right? Let's go back to that.
She doesn't dance. She never dances at parties.
That's true.
She likes to observe
and
with her big glasses.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But it's never been a situation where there's like a rando that's not a family member that I pick out to dance at a party.
No, because for girls, I think it's different.
It is different, right?
Because men go to a girl and say, "Hey, can you want to dance with me?"
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I totally agree with you. And for me, if we're at a party and there's a guy that's a stranger and dances very well, I'm going to go and dance because I like to dance.
I don't know.
No, but I do, and I like it.
I don't care.
You don't really.
I'm thinking more.
I think I'm agreeing with.
Yeah.
I think she can go and dance.
Yeah.
Depends how they dancing.
That's true. That's
it depends.
true.
You can say something.
I'm trying to think of if there's ever.
If it's that snake bachata shit.
Oh no! Hell no! Hell no!
No, imagine we're dancing salsa. All of a sudden, it turned. No, just kidding. No, but let me tell you. Okay, here's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Both of you have to go with me to a salsa and bachata class just to see. We have to feel it out, right?
Okay.
Because
I'm
telling
down
you,
on that.
it's really fun, and I'm telling you, it's. Oh my God! No, guys.
And Dennis sounds good.
Yeah,
I don't know why he get afraid about that.
No. So okay, I don't care when you dance with anyone ever. Right? I don't want people to believe that.
Oh, I know
that's not the case here. I allow Natalie to dance with everyone and anyone because as a cultural thing as well, dancing is normal.
Yeah.
Right. I would be surprised if it was like reggaeton and then all of a sudden someone pulls out Natalie. In that case, I'd be like, okay, wait.
No.
But if it's like merengue, if it's normal
salsa.
Yeah. Salsa. Like it's totally fine. Cumbia or whatever. Yeah. It's totally fine.
Totally makes sense. You know, I remember Rihanna used to get criticized a lot because she's Jamaican, right? Jamaican, I think. Or Barbados.
She's from Barbados.
Sorry. And so she would get criticized a lot when she first started her music because the way she would dance, people were like, what the hell? Like, girl, that is too sexual. And she's like, this is how we dance.
Kind of like Shakira.
In our culture. Exactly. Yeah. So I think it can be a little bit shocking. And I also think you're a little bit Americanized in that way. I think.
I don't know. Okay.
It's only because you don't dance as much.
Okay.
That's why.
Point blank, let's answer this, and then I have something that I actually want to. So, Do we believe once a cheater, always a cheater, Natalie? What do you think?
No, I think you can redeem yourself.
So you think you can redeem yourself? Okay. With the same person, like be forgiven?
It depends.
Or were we strictly just saying a cheater can redeem, and that's it?
Yeah, I think we're
going to leave it at that. Yeah, not the other complicated parts of cheating.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
I do believe that a cheater can also change. I feel like anyone at any point can change anything, whether it's eating a certain way, being a certain way, changing your attitude, outlook on life. You can change.
We all evolve. David, what do you think? Show us your face. Be honest.
I think the cheater always gonna be a cheater.
Damn. Hoes gon' hoe.
That's valid. That's okay. Valid. Yeah.
And is that because of personal experiences or you just think that?
No, it's because, bro, if you make it one time and you say, oh, she forgive me, why I don't do it again? Why she don't gonna forgive me again? Why? You feel me?
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, seeing the reaction of the other person and their heart breaking and seeing the lack of trust is enough to make a cheater stop cheating again. But at the same time, like David said, if they got caught and then the circumstance didn't like affect their life too much,
right?
Then maybe they are inclined to cheat.
Yeah,
again.
If they're just like, oh, okay, they just forgave me. Okay, yeah, it's not like that.
For a lot of people, said that it was a lot more complicated, and it comes down more to age. They said that if someone cheats, but they're like under 22 years old, they're still kind of figuring things out. They're a little wild in the way that they are.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's okay. No, but it's true. I can actually just while you remember, I can remember. Fuck no, I forgot.
Okay. If someone is under 22 years old,
go. not our brains. I think that. Whatever.
You forgot again. You forgot twice in less than a minute.
I remember. ¿Se perdonaría una infidelidad? That was my question.
Oh, would I forgive an infidelity? It depends at what extent. And I also think.
Let me take notes.
A kiss.
Just
so I can know how far it can go.
No, un beso.
I would say I would need to understand exactly what led you to do that. Like I would need to understand, were you intoxicated? Number one.
That never happened, so no.
What was the situation? Like, did they go on to you? And why didn't you? Like, I would need the facts. I would need to be there. Actually, that reminds me, I don't know if any of you guys are watching Love is Blind. Oh, this season is so good. But there's a girl on there that, well, basically there's like two cheaters. There's going to be two cheaters. I cannot remember their names right now, but...
Wasn't one Kenneth?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was.
But anyways, the point is that the girl confronts him and he's just going in circles. I didn't cheat until he starts breaking slowly. And he's like, yeah, I did do that. Yeah.
Were they the white couple?
Yes, that one.
The one that said he was in the parking lot for like 5 a.m.
That one. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. What are you doing at 5 a.m. in a parking lot, and why is your location off?
So, want me to tell you a little bit more?
Bro, you know.
Tell me.
I just saw the clip.
You saw it?
The clip on TikTok.
It's so...
Today on morning, I saw Isaac White.
Yes.
La corre para atrás.
Yeah, and he's just like... She's cornering him. So like, it doesn't make sense.
Can I give you the lowdown of what's kind of going on?
Yeah.
So... It's a strip club or a bar or something called Lost and Found. It's, I think, in North Carolina. And what is happening is Love is Blind fans are going to the club and taking a look at the parking lot and the alley and saying like, this is sketchy as hell. Like, what's this man doing out here? Right.
What?
And so what happens is it seems like, and the theory is that he took his phone, left it in the car, and then went with whoever, but he still had his Apple Watch on. And so
no wonder she says,
tracks,
yeah, and she's like, it doesn't make sense.
It tracks the Apple Watch and the phone separately, and the dumbass took his watch and it tracked him. So his phone's in the parking lot, but he's somewhere else in like downtown North Carolina or whatever. Honestly, he got caught. He got caught.
And I think, I just like, at least admit it. You're going deeper and looking stupider and stupider, and you won't admit it.
I just got to say, the dumbest part of that all is, you're on national TV.
Yes.
You're engaged to somebody. You can at least not cheat until the fucking experiment is over. Like, honestly, I think it's all for the hype of the show.
Yeah, no, I think he's
I don't know if it's real. It's totally marketing, but...
No, I think it's real.
Yo también creo que es real, obvio, pero eso hace que se ponga más hyper la situación.
This is ridiculous. Like, you're being filmed. Come on now.
Some guys are stupid, and girls too. Some of us slip like that.
Sí, some guys just get...
Yeah. Oh my God, today's the episode. It's going to be the highlight of my night.
It's already out.
Oh, after this. No, I'm kidding. No, I have to finish work, but.
Okay, so the guy was out there at 5 a.m. and it actually leads really well into my next topic I had here. What seems normal at 2 p.m. but is scary at 2 a.m.?
Okay. Well, I remember you had COVID. So I was sleeping downstairs. We were like separated, right? During that, well, not separated. Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She was sleeping in like this other room that we have downstairs.
Yes. And my parents called me at like freaking 3 a.m.
Then that is never a good sign.
And the way my heart jumped, this was after like Elia had passed and everything. So I was on edge. I didn't understand what it was. The point is I like wake up and I'm like, oh my God, ¿qué está pasando? Blah, 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 And it's just like white noise. I'm like, aló, ¿quién está ahí, mamá? ¿Qué está pasando? Yeah. And then she's like, ay, Natalie, qué pena. Natalie, we're taking your sister to the airport. I'm sorry. I like butt dialed you. I can't go back to sleep after that adrenaline rush.
Okay. Butt dialing, how is that even a thing now? There's no buttons on phones.
Listen, my mom butt dials me all the time.
That's bullshit.
Well, she doesn't know how to turn it off.
It's a lie.
No.
She's totally calling you just to fuck.
No, honey. She was so sorry because she like literally felt my fear. So she was so sorry for that. But she constantly doesn't turn her phone off and like just...
For our younger listeners, if you're out there, butt dialing was always a thing with Blackberries. Blackberries don't flip. So they had all the buttons on the outside. And then when you sit down, you'd butt dial people, right? Like you actually press buttons accidentally and end up calling someone. Now it's just a flat screen. Like how does it click the proper buttons to call someone? I really don't understand.
My mom doesn't know how to turn off her iPhone. That's what it is.
Qué triste.
But that's what I think. What about you?
A knock at the door.
At 2 a.m?
2 p.m. normal.
Unless it's Uber.
2 a.m, odd. Even an Uber should not knock. What's up with Ubers knocking on the door? Just leave the food in the front door.
That is true.
Someone mentioned that an Uber Eats knocked on their door accidentally because it was actually supposed to be for a neighbor, and that it freaked them the hell out that they were not expecting a knock at late at night.
Can we just talk about how getting a knock when you're alone at home is just such a terrifying thing?
So bad.
Tell me why. I saw this Instagram of this girl on her Nest camera. And she shows herself when she gets knocked on, she's like hiding in her house. Like she goes on hide mode. I do the same thing. Why do we do that in our own house?
Why?
Is it just me?
It's anxiety.
Is it just girls?
No.
Oh,
for sure. I remember when I used to live with my parents and people would knock, I'd like put myself up against the wall and try to like slowly crawl to the door, like to see who it is, and then like use a little peephole.
Can I say something that is honestly so traumatizing, and only immigrant kids will understand this?
Okay.
So I mean, my family's an immigrant, so that's one. Okay, so I was always getting, I would be taken care of. What's the right grammar here?
Daycare.
My parents' sisters would take care of me.
Okay.
And so they were illegal. So my what? Can I not say that?
I guess. Yeah. Go ahead.
They were illegal. They're legal now. Okay. So they would like always be paranoid. And back then, like police would like literally knock on doors and be like, hey, where are your stuff? You know? So my aunt, when she would take care of us, she was constantly peeking out of like the window. And she would be like, oh, no, hombre, like a man like that looks like a policeman. And we would freaking have to hide under our beds.
That's awful.
It was traumatizing. I think that's why actually whenever I get like it knocked on, like I get scared.
My house
so
got
sad.
I've only had police knock on my door like 3 times.
Yeah.
And like my whole life. But like when you get they knock at your door and you look and it's the feds. Like,
yeah.
Damn.
That happened to me once too.
Yeah, but they stole your identity.
Great.
That's why.
Remember that. Yeah. Tell them the story.
Yeah.
Well, my identity got stolen.
Yeah.
And so imagine this. My mom's like, Natalie, baje las escaleras. Hay unos hombres acá. Like, Natalie, come down the stairs. There's some men. They're the police.
But
like,
it wasn't just police.
No, it was the FBI. It was the freaking FBI.
No.
So I go down the stairs. First of all, I'm thinking, what have I done wrong? Like, I don't know. Like, did I do something? Like, I'm like tracing back. I go down the stairs and it's like a one woman and then 2 guys, very tall, all dressed like in black. They show me their
like suits?
No, not like suits, but just very like
Trajes.
Yes.
Como de army. Como, yeah.
No, no de army. No de army. No.
Like chaleco.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they just sit me down and they're like, they make it like a big thing. Basically, they're just like, hey, I just want you to know like your identity. Like, no, they didn't say that. They're like, do you recognize these people? And so I got to see a bunch of faces. I was like, no, I don't. Like, I really don't. And then they told me, hey, your identity got stolen. But so scary when they arrive. And like, not to mention, like, if my mom is scared, like, I'm scared. Like, what's going on? Like, did I do something real bad?
So we covered knock at the door.
Yeah.
And we covered call from parents. Call from parents is awful. The worst things always run through your head. You're thinking like one of them passed away or someone passed away, or it's like the absolute worst things.
When it's so early, yeah.
All right. A couple more are whistling.
Whistling at 2 a.m?
Yes.
That's creepy.
Whistling.
That is creepy.
Hearing children screaming.
Okay.
The ice cream truck. At 2 a.m.
I think I'd be happy about that one.
No, you'd be one of those characters in the scary movie that die. You'd run towards the danger.
I'd be like, where's my $1? Let's go. Actually, an ice cream is not $1 anymore.
That reminds me, back up north, we used to have lemonade trucks. And they would go around and they'd sell lemonade. We don't have that here.
I never got to experience that.
You know, in the finca.
Yeah.
Was one finca we have, the bathroom was outside.
Oh, shit.
So in the 2 p.m.
Dos de la mañana.
A las 2 de la mañana no iba nadie.
No, that's scary.
I remember.
Especially because it's so far.
Sometimes my mom have to be so bad. She have to be so bad. And she, en ese momento no había celulares.
Because it's distant. And it's like very in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. No, I don't think so. So.
I remember I've had a lot of weird experiences on farms and like being out in nature in the middle of nowhere. Now that Debbie brings it up.
Colombia has a lot of scary stories, almost like a lot of ghosts.
No.
La pata sola.
No, like, but it
no.
almost makes you wonder, like, yeah, weird shit does happen in the middle of nowhere. Like, that's where a lot of scary movies are. Like, who's there? And it's also so beautiful.
There's something about the nighttime and just the dark, and like you kind of fill in the dark with your imagination.
That's the
of
thing.
What could be there. Right. So it makes things worse, and it's just like the ocean, like that the fear of thalassophobia, like the fear of like this deep nothingness.
The workers for the farm, they iban a cazar por la noche, like with the dogs and everything in the night, con las linternas. Hell no, al monte. Yo los veía desde la casa, ellos iban caminando para arriba así para.
Oh my God.
Oh God, no.
No.
Yeah. People that live out in nature and like the woods,
they're built different.
They're at next level.
They are.
You know who's not next level?
Who?
toddlers.
There
was a
little stinky little hands. They're always little dirty hands.
There was a Reddit post about a mom whose washing machine got ruined by her toddler.
How?
It bit the plastic lining of like the door and like tore it. And so she had to like then go and like replace the liner.
Toddlers have teeth?
I mean, they got maybe one or two, but they must be sharp.
How?
They teeth also.
They do.
They have teeth and they just bite stuff.
Oh, maybe the thing.
So the question can go in many directions, but the way that I wanted to point this towards you was in terms of patience, right?
Patience.
I think as a parent, you have to be extremely patient. And there's certain things that I feel like I would be patient with or about, and other things that I would flip my shit.
Okay, tell me what you'd flip your shit with.
So it's nice that you pointed the question at me. I do not like the ruining of things. And that's a big one with kids, right? So let's say there's a child and he gets like a Crayola and like draws all over the wall. I think it's also on the parent of like making sure nothing is at reach, right?
David, did you ever draw on the wall?
I don't think.
You didn't?
No.
I feel like every kid experiences that.
My parents, my parents gave me a corner to write on.
Oh, that's nice.
Because they felt like it was almost unavoidable.
Oh, that's sweet. You got to write on the wall.
I got to write on the wall in a small space.
We should do that for our kids. I think that's cute.
They also gave me a drill, like a screwdriver or whatever.
Wow.
And it was a small piece of wood in the same area as the writing.
That's so cool.
And they said, like, if you ever have the desire to like ruin something or to screw something or to mess with, like, this is that piece of wood to do it on. I felt like, now that I think about it,
psychologists.
They trained me They trained me to focus all of my like little disaster energy into that corner. Yeah.
Wait, you know what that reminds me? Have you guys seen the TikTok where they put a kid inside of the bathroom and they're like, you can say any bad word.
I saw that thread.
But only when you're in the bathroom. They close the door and like little kids are like, che. And honestly, it's kind of shocking that they know those words.
Yeah.
And they're like, che. Like they're like laughing. Oh my God.
Well, yo vi uno en español.
Sí, oh my God.
Una niña dejaron sola y es que chinga tu madre.
Oh my God. No.
Chinga tu madre.
No, but that's really cool that your parents did that. Honestly, I think that's very
I totally forgot about that and like just came up into my brain.
That's so wise.
There's a lot of little tricks as a parent that I feel like you can use to make things feel like they have free will.
Like what else?
When in reality they don't. Like I had my playroom.
Okay.
Wow, this is going away from the question, but whatever.
No, but that's really neat.
I had a playroom. They said that I could take out I had this big chest. You can take out as many toys as you want, but you got to make sure to put them back in whenever you're done. So I think that helped me in terms of organizational stuff. Like when you use something, you put it back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like small psychological
put it
stuff.
back, the things are so boring.
Seriously.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I remember in kindergarten, they'd make us like sing the song like clean up, everybody, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God.
The worst is having to pick up other people's mess. Like,
100%.
If you can pick up your own mess, that's fine. But like,
that's true.
Why do I have to go and like wipe down somebody else's table?
Well, I know that for you, something that would really irk you is having any kind of stain or clothing getting ruined, like your shoes.
I'm going to call out Savina right now.
Why?
Because Savina is a grimy little toddler, right? I don't know if some of you might have just like started tuning in the last couple episodes, but my cousin Savina was on the show for a little bit and she loves touching screens. TV screens, laptop screens. When she's looking at an email, she touches the fucking screen. She's like, that email right there. And then she uses her long ass fake nails to like tap it. It's like stuff like that. Like stuff that irks me that an adult would do. I feel like it would irk me that a toddler would do.
Okay.
But that energy, I feel like obviously need to change.
Yeah,
and
we
be
need
more
to
patient.
change that. Yeah. And for me, it's noise.
Oh man.
Like I don't like noise. I really don't. Like
Can you expand upon that?
You know me best, so you probably could explain. Like,
Okay.
I just like
noise
quiet.
what?
No, yo le voy a explicar.
Like too loud.
Just,
like I don't like anything.
Just listen. I'm in the car and I'm bumping music. Level 30 volume. Mérmele un poquito. 28. 5 minutes later. Mérmele otro poquito. 25. Mérmele. Boom, boom, boom. It keeps going down until I got that
7.
shit on 12 or 10.
7
and
is
she's
ideal.
Like, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, fuck that. I just turned that shit off. Like at that point,
But
I'm not listening to anything.
Only because it's hard for me to focus and talk to you while we listen to music. So I think that's where I'm going to struggle, and I'm going to need to find patience with our child. Is obviously they need to live their life and be loud and messy and whatever, right? For me, it's going to be difficult though, because I need quiet to focus.
Hear me out, right?
It's hard.
I lived in a household, and this may actually lead into like your childhood and like how you guys went about things, right?
Oh, okay.
I lived in a household where the TV was always on. Cartoons, Despierta America, a soccer game, anything, right? Even if no one is watching, the TV in the living room was on, right? There's always background sound playing, going on.
I feel like that's a very Hispanic household.
I also don't have ADHD. Right. So I feel like in a way I can multitask in my brain and like pick things out, like different sounds from each other. I don't know. I think maybe just.
But I think it's different types, because I feel like David, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, cause you have ADHD, right? But you like music, right? And I feel like you can work with music, correct? Yeah.
Usted sería capaz de estudiar con música.
Yeah. Claro.
Yeah. Whereas me, I could never, right? So even, I remember when we all started working together and we would have lunch downstairs.
Yeah.
And you guys would put like music, the TV on. It was such a good like team environment.
Yeah.
I couldn't rest. I felt like because usually I was used to going down in my kitchen and everything was quiet and taking my time. It was very difficult for me. So I need to learn how to like cohabit.
Guys, sounds after 8 p.m. with Natalie, it's a big no. I'm in my room with the door locked, watching TikTok.
No, I know.
I got the text, the dreaded text.
I suck.
I can hear that from my room. Can you put down the volume or close the door? I'm playing games. You're being too loud with Juan, like the guy that I play video games with.
Yeah.
Can you like tune it down? And I'm like, we're cohabitating.
I know.
Right?
I know.
The thing is, you also don't make any noise. And so it's not like I can reciprocate and be like, close your door.
No, I get it. I don't know how to fix that. It's going to be a struggle when I'm a mom, for sure.
And can feel that.
I think I'm just going to have soundproof headphones.
So for you, point blank, it's sound. Sound is like your one thing you need to learn to be patient about.
Yes.
Okay, for me, it is the ruining of the things. We good? The ruining of the things or whatever. It's kind of like... I as a child was very careful with my belongings. I was always like, I don't want to break that toy. Sometimes I wouldn't use something simply because of the probability or possibility that it could break.
Dennis is very neat. Yeah. David, I'm curious about you.
Neat.
Do you feel, because I feel like you'd be a cool dad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a cool dad.
Right? Like I feel like you'd be very chill.
No, I think you buy the thing for using. If I
Oh wait.
Okay, with the shoes. With the shoes, no, but si es una ropa, if I buy something specific to my kid.
What about something that would make you run out of patience?
What's that mean?
Algo que usted necesita su paciencia. Porque sabe que cuando va a tener un niño como que se le va a
arruinar.
Well, Daddy's going to hit his kids. We already know that. It's going to be kind of scary.
Like
that's my passion.
No.
It's his passion to hit kids. No. What do you need patience for? So Natalie says sound.
Yeah.
Right, I'm with like things, like very particular with things. What about, do you feel like they can just do whatever?
No, I think que no me... Sometimes when I do something like my phone, I don't like people touching me or anything.
Oh, really?
And like when I have kids, maybe something...
When you're on your phone?
O cuando estoy como muy concentrado en algo, no presto atención a las cosas del rey y no me gusta que me molesten para nada.
Yeah.
O sea que si se tiene que enfocar.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of like that too, where like I need to focus, and
Yeah.
if you bother me or switch my focus, I get upset because it's hard for me to get back.
I'll go tell Natalie something, and she's like, "Hold up, I'm putting a TikTok up. Hold up, I'm editing."
No, it's like it's hard for me to task switch, so I need to like, can you just give me a second? Like I still have something in my mind, you know. That's what it is. But yeah, patience. I mean, hey, for all the parents out there, leave us your tips below.
So you've been editing a lot of vlogs recently.
I have. Yeah. I took on again the editing role, which has been a lot of fun.
And yesterday you were telling me that you get a little bit of like therapeutic session by viewing your day a second time.
Yeah.
Through editing.
Because it feels like a diary. It's almost like I'm editing what I would be writing about. It's like, oh, I went to salsa and I did this and how nice. Oh, and this moment happened. And I think it helps me a lot too because I forget everything. Like if you were to ask me what I did yesterday or the day before, I really couldn't tell you. I forget.
What do you think? Okay, so you and I are in a particular situation where I feel like we've been on camera for so many hours and so much more than the average person.
I know.
Like our lives for the past 10 years are kind of out there and recorded. And like we've been on camera forever, right?
Literally.
At this point,
it's
right?
so crazy to think about. We have like my sister's like 18th birthday, like from that moment on, or 16th. I don't even know. That's so crazy. When I look back at that, it's so nostalgic.
How would you feel about us reacting to old videos in a future podcast?
Oh, I think that'd be cute. I once in a while do that. I go back in time and I look at stuff and I'm like, wait, I cannot believe I did my hair like that or my eyebrows were crazy.
So I have some privated vlogs.
You do?
In this actual podcast account.
Wait, why? Wait, you privated vlogs?
There's like vlogs that are privated or whatever.
Wait, why?
What I think we can do in the next podcast is I'll unprivate them or I'll download them and then we'll actually play them on screen and maybe like scroll through them. And then we will react to it, maybe the way that we look, what's going on in that situation, or like what is going on.
Gonna be fun, yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
That would be cute. You know, the more, now that you mentioned I've been editing myself again, I feel like I'm noticing things about myself that I didn't before. Like, does that ever happen to you?
The worst is when you're on TikTok and like the screen goes black for some reason, and then you see your ugly ass face reflection like on the screen. Has that ever happened to anyone?
No, I can't.
Because then you're like, I look like shit, or like you open up Snapchat for the first time, or like anything, and like that first camera shot of yourself makes you feel horrible.
Well, I don't know. I was telling you yesterday that I was noticing like my chin fat more, and I was noticing how bad my posture is, which I didn't notice that. And there was another thing I was noticing.
Yeah, me too. Happened to me when
You
I
haven't?
film my stories, bro. I say, bro, my face is like weird.
Yeah, you start to get kind of like insecure and you really start to pinpoint. Whereas I feel like before, I remember the first time I ever recorded myself and I watched the video over.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's up with my teeth? Like it was something, it was like I had never seen myself like that because like down here, it's a little crooked. But I had never seen that part of me because I don't ever look at myself like that. It was a weird feeling.
That reminds me of that one. It's crazy how much we refer to TikTok on this show, but like there's this one TikTok that's really popular, how you always see yourself one way and then you hit a filter and then like it inverts you.
Yes.
And then you're like, that looks so odd. And then you know that everyone else sees you that way. That's kind of like what we experience
the first time
in terms of videos of recording ourselves and putting it out there, you know?
And I think people can relate, you know, like the first time you hear yourself like over a microphone or you're like, wait, that's my voice. Like it just, the pitch, everything sounds different. It's an odd feeling doing what we do.
So you said that you've recognized certain aspects of your chin.
Yeah, my chin, my posture, and my, what was the other one? Well, my teeth a long time ago, but I don't notice that one anymore.
So you also mentioned earlier today that you were editing and then that you got to a point where we were arguing. And you kind of relived the argument again in terms of the vlog.
That was so interesting.
From a third person perspective. You got to see our fight in person.
And it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Like I remember Dennis.
I wanna hear about it.
No, you know, I was recording this cleaning video and I was like, I basically told Dennis like, can you be quiet? Like again. And he responded back in a way that in that moment I was like, he's so rude, like so rude. And so he said, you watched the video clip to see how rude I was. So when I was actually editing it, it was so chill. Like it was like, you watched the video clip and it was like, you're being rude. And it was just not, it was so exaggerated up here, which sometimes makes me realize sometimes we internalize a lot of things and we might feel things that are not even the way that it's happening.
I think when emotions get involved, we can sometimes see things worse than what they really are, or better sometimes.
Yeah.
Like maybe someone's being rude and then you take it as, oh, they're not purposefully being rude, but they are being assholes.
The worst one is when you feel like others are making fun of you.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Oh, easy.
Because it pisses you off. And you actually showed me a video of like, it was like Roman Atwood and his assistant or something was
on a podcast,
was crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, stop laughing at me or something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe they were laughing. I didn't see the full clip, but
I think when you're in a session like that, you just don't know how to react. And
it's happened to me a lot when it's actually happened to me many times where let's say I start crying and I feel like I'm being laughed at and I'll tell people like, stop, you know, and they're like, we're not. And that feels horrible because it feels like you're not being validated and like, wait, this is in my head. I'm so confused.
We're at a point now where we're recording ourselves all, not just us, but at this point, everybody with a phone. And you can technically kind of go back and see like, oh, was the way that I reacted an overreaction? What I saw that day, was that real? Sometimes people say that our childhoods aren't really real, that we kind of created this story in our minds that we've kind of convinced ourselves is real. Right.
That is trippy.
I remember this time that I was playing in a room and like I had this bike that was a certain way. And like I keep thinking about that sometimes. And then my parents once told me that I never really had a bike that was that way, that it wasn't the way that I had envisioned it, like a red bike. And so I thought of it so many times, like that instance, that I convinced myself that it was real. It was an actual circumstance, right?
I've had moments like that too. I was a very imaginative kid. You know, like Narnia, where you would open the closet and you'd go in. I would pretend. I'd open the closet, I'd go in and I'd see like this world. But like that shit never existed.
Now imagine you convince yourself that something is real and someone whips out video footage to prove to you that it's not real.
Oh, that's kind of devastating, I think.
So a couple days ago, I was drinking 2 Dr. Peppers for some reason one day. I was on my Dr. Pepper binge.
So you had 1 and 1?
Yes. And so I
Damn, what a fada.
No, I'm not like this. Like, no.
That's what I thought.
First of all, there's zero sugar.
You know, he get that cup with here.
And he's playing.
No, I drank 1. I wanted more. Went, got another one. Drank it.
Okay. That's what I thought.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, that's valid.
So I grabbed these cups, right? They're in my room, and I put them in our loft.
Okay.
Right. And so I put them in the loft and I'm walking away. And then later in the day, Natalie angrily tells me, those Dr. Pepper cups have been there for 4 days. Like, when are you going to pick them up? And I said, Natalie, I just put those today. No way. And then tell me how I whipped out the Nest Camera app and I showed you that I had placed them there at 1 on the same day. No, okay.
It's true.
What I want to get at is...
But guys, I swear to you, they were there for 4 days.
That's what I wanted to get at.
They were.
You created in your mind that they had been there for many more days than they actually were.
That kind of freaked me out. Because I swear to you, I would walk up and down the stairs in my pajamas. I was like, I'm going to tell him. Seriously, unless it was unless you do it every night.
Okay. What I want to get to is... Honestly, how many fights would be resolved if someone had video proof of everything? And also, if you get called out by the footage,
I think that's a dangerous slope as well. Because I feel... So we have cameras in our house. I never thought was weird until... Recently, I saw a TikTok and they're like, do you know how many hackers study to hack into your computer? They watch that like cartoons. And so I'm sitting there looking at the camera that's literally in front of our bed. And I'm like, why? But it's because it's a Google thing, right?
Yeah, we have like 6 cameras around the house. Yeah. I have one in the living room.
Our main purpose for that, obviously safety 1, but also Jupiter. Like that was why, right?
Yeah.
But now the more I think about it, like I'm kind of like, why? Because so many times we'll fight and you're like, check the camera check the camera to see how you reacted, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm at night, like in the kitchen eating snacks, and then all of a sudden I hear ding, and then she talks to me through the camera like, what are you eating?
Yeah.
And I instantly have my snack in my hand. I'm like, I put it under the table and I'm like, nothing.
Just know I hear him when he's mousing away at night. I hear it.
So recently, Elon Musk went through implanting a chip into someone's brain.
Nuh-uh, that actually
And
happened.
they successfully did it.
Who was the person?
It was an anonymous person who got it.
And you know what? He can control
a human person.
He can control what?
He can control a mouse
with his brain
on screen with his mind. That's what I've heard.
No, that's a noticia. Eso es una noticia.
Yeah. So he now has the ability to move a mouse on screen with his mind. Right.
Wow.
Yo quiero postularme. Yo aplico. Tengo esta edad. Tengo 20 años.
Uy, no.
No, I'm doing.
That reminds me of the Black Mirror episode where that person had the contacts on that they could record everything in their life.
That's crazy.
And so usted sabía ese episodio?
Oh, sí.
And so he would rewatch certain such sections in like his life where I think he cheated or his wife cheated or something. He relived things.
And he saw the other man and he say he cheating on his.
Can you explain that a little bit better?
So basically in this world of Black Mirror, everyone has contacts on that like records everything. You can go back into like your brain and like see the past I don't know how it works. The point is, how did he catch his wife cheating? Did he put her contacts on somehow or like what exactly did he like connect to her mind?
I never watched it, but
no, entonces él llegó y le cogió la cabeza y le abrió la mente. Le dijo, eso le aparecía a uno en la pantallita aquí en los ojos.
Yeah.
Y él retrocedió el coso y se dio cuenta de que...
So he basically told her to show him.
He looked into her mind.
Yeah, and then he saw that she had cheated. Ugh, that's just terrible.
Maybe if we have too many cameras and things like that can lead into that.
Into cheating?
No, into seeing too many things that we don't want to see.
Oh, but here's the thing. I never go on our cameras and I'm like, what is somebody doing? Like, I never do that.
Oh, I never do that either.
Right. So we don't use it for that stuff.
No, the only thing we use our cameras for is A, when I'm in the kitchen and she wants to check on what I'm snacking on. B, when we're out and about and we have to check on Jupiter.
Yeah.
Right.
And just for safety,
and
I guess.
C, just for safety. I never scroll through the entire 30-day like space.
Every day.
Wait. But I remember I was
like, why the fuck Natalie walk like that?
I remember I was in Colombia and your dad was taking care of Jupiter.
Oh, that's so
I was looking, Yeah.
And
I saw him come down the stairs and he was like making these faces. Making these faces. And so, yeah, it was so funny. So he casually, Saul, he walks down and then he looks and he sees this giant turd from Jupiter. Right. Okay. So he looks at it for a bit. He looks at Jupiter and he goes upstairs.
And he leaves it there.
Oh no.
He just walks away.
He leaves it there and then he showers, does his thing, and then he comes down
and
later
cleans it after.
and cleans it.
Seeing his reaction was
so funny because he was shocked. Oh man.
Who knows how many funny situations and things we have recorded on the cameras that we never really actually got to see.
That's silly.
No, incluso good things like...
Good things.
Como la fiesta de 31.
Oh, that was fun. Wasn't that a fun one? Yeah, I got to I recorded... Well, no, obviously our camera in the living room was there. And so we moved everything for our...
That was so cool.
For our 31st party. And we decorated everything. And it was cool to see the passage of time from the very beginning to the end of the party. I love that one. That was a fun one.
I think we're going to end this episode with Dennis's fun facts of the week. They're actually really good this week. I did my research. There was a man who passed away and he arranged for his wife to receive roses every day for the rest of her life.
Oh my God.
I remember I told you that fact prior to the episode. How does that make you feel, Natalie?
That was kind of it's kind of sad.
It lasted 8.5 years until she passed away.
Oh my God.
Must have been expensive. Flowers nowadays. Pricey.
Oh my God. So they were an older couple?
Yeah, they were an older couple. He passed away and then she received roses every day.
That's really thoughtful.
I've heard stories of people that buy like, I don't know if it's an edible arrangement, but like something that like arrives later on and like reminds the person that person had died.
I think what just makes me sad is like that is the reality of so many people that you have to then live, like either you or your partner will live on without you. That's so sad.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, guys.
No, that's so
that's
sad.
really sad.
For
Imagine.
real. Imagine.
I wake up and go to bed every day with you. Like that is crazy.
Imagine you wake up and Dennis doesn't wake up. Ooh.
What the fuck? You just killed me.
No, you're so funny. No, but yeah, it's sad.
Natalie opens her eyes, looks at me, dead. And then she just moves on with her life.
That's sad.
Damn. Anyways, and the next fun fact, which, you know, is actually a fun fact, not sad fact. Sony hired an outspoken critic, and I thought this was really cool, and we were going to have a conversation about, you know, critics or whatever, to come in and make their products better. Mm-hmm. And then that person ended up being the president of Sony 20 years later.
Wow.
So we were discussing prior to the podcast as well how important it is to listen to critics. So we always appreciate the comments that you guys leave in the podcast, the comments that you guys leave in the vlogs.
There's some really funny ones though.
A lot of them are like appreciating the content, but at the same time, you know, there is hateful or not. I mean, maybe they're not hateful, critical comments that ask for change.
Comments hurt. Sometimes when it's especially like different from, you know, like a lot of people are like, Dennis, stop being so mean to Natalie. Stop cutting her off. Yeah. And like,
people, let me tell you, Dennis crying the night, please. Don't do that comment.
I'm in bed.
Wait,
don't do that comment, people, please.
I'm in bed reading podcast comments, crying.
Alone, I'm eating the podcast.
In the kitchen as I look at him from upstairs.
Que estás comiendo y llorando.
Just reading podcast comments as I cry.
Oh, man.
What has your experience been the past 3 weeks since you started editing your own videos and going so hard on socials? Like, what have the comments been like for you?
Honestly, they've been so heartfelt. Like I feel like I really am feeling it, and a lot of people are kind of I know a lot of people are like, I haven't seen you in so long, or like I just reconnected with your vlogs. And you know, I think for a while I was trying to do things that I didn't really like, but because I'm putting in so much like of just my personal time into this, it feels more of a connection. It's been really nice.
Yeah, the comments have been very nice recently.
That's me after the bathroom.
You know, it's after you spray Febreze. And yeah, it's very nice to see that a lot of you are reconnecting with us again. Mm-hmm. YouTube's weird, and the algorithm is weird, and people's lives sometimes changes, and like you don't go online anymore. And
no, but also just people stop watching because you change. You know, and like I don't watch the same people I used to be subscribed to, and that's just how it is.
For those of you that have reconnected and have enjoyed our recent videos, we're very happy to continue to post vlogs. You know, they've been consistent. Go and follow us on socials if you want to. Hopefully you already are. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Natalie and Dennis Show.
Thank you.